Hi, my name is Scott, the Miniature Maniac, and I am done. What up, Mini family? Make no mistake, this video is entirely a shill. This camera is like scaring me. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. About 2 years ago, I ran a Kickstarter campaign, and in that campaign, I made a sexy metal brush box that you can get a black foam interior, red foam interior, black exterior. It's got 2 levels in it. For brushes, there is just a brush tier and then like a brush tier with like a miscellaneous tool slot. And I also made 6 new miniatures. I made the Ranger, the Warrior, and the Witch, and I made them in both 32 millimeter, which is new for my range, and 75 millimeter. And I'm really proud of these miniatures, and I'm proud of everything we did for the campaign. We also made some masterclass courses for the campaign, which is basically an instructor walks you through how the box art was painted and explains all the concepts being used, techniques being used. They're really designed as an end-to-end product. All of the products from my Kickstarter are now available on my web store at miniac.co, link down in the description. And the brush box definitely isn't going to sell out of quantity, but the models are a little bit lower quantity. So those might sell out fairly quickly. They're not limited edition. None of this stuff is, so I will restock it once it's gone. But if you want to get like the first run of it, before I have to wait for more casts, now is the time. So that's the basic summary if you don't know what's going on, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of time to explain these things in more detail. I left my super glue unkept the entire night. Wonderful. Did you actually know that when you use super glue, you shouldn't put the cap back on right away? Because a lot of them have a little thing in the tip that inserts itself into the nozzle to kind of like clear jams and stuff. And when you do that, when there's fresh super glue in the tip of your super glue bottle, it just glues itself into the super glue bottle. So you just have to wait a little bit for it to evaporate, dry out, and then put the cap on, and then your lids will never stick. But my problem is that I just don't put the cap on and let it dry out and then totally forget. It is surreal making this video because this is like the literal last thing that I have to do for Kickstarter. That's like on my schedule. Of course, there will be other things that I have to do, but this is the last thing that I have like on my list. The Ranger's concept was done by Tatiana Petrova, and he was sculpted by Victor Aguilar del Bosque and Daniel Fernandez. It was a collab job. And then the model was made in 32 mil scale, and same sculptor, he also resized it, but also the guys over at CMA Creative Solutions, my casters, also helped me with a lot of the detail simplification of 32 mil models. And then the box art was painted by yours truly, and the masterclass was done by me as well. And the 32 mil version was painted by none other than Eric Swinson, and he crushed that paint job. Especially when you consider that all of the 32 millimeter versions, all those box arts were painted by the people when the model wasn't changed. Basically, I took the 75 mil sculpt and just shrunk it down. That's all I really did. At least that's what it looked like. And I gave it to these people, and it was kind of unpaintable, if I'm being quite honest, but all 3 of them crushed the paint job. The model has been modified since then and is now much easier to paint. My masterclass course focuses on basically empowering you to take any given model and form a scheme for it, a unique scheme that you like, and also apply techniques that make sense, as well as teaching you all the fundamental skills that I use throughout the course. It's very front heavy, so there's a lot of technique and information loaded onto you in the beginning, and then the second half of the course is all applying that knowledge to painting the box art. I'm really proud of this course. In a way, it's like my miniature painting education manifesto. It's like everything that I know and believe about the hobby of miniature painting all in one place. I understand the hesitation as a YouTube viewer to not want to invest in these courses because you have YouTube for free. Why would you invest in that? That's a totally valid question. In my career on YouTube, I've made over 250 videos. I have done over 150 podcasts. I've been in countless live streams. So I've made a lot of content on the internet. The odds that you consumed all of that are low. And the odds that you retained all that if you have consumed it are also very low. But let's say you have, hypothetically. I think one of the main values of the course is that you don't have to hunt for the information. All of it is presented in a very intentional way to help you with learning, and it's all in one place. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, a lot of the information that I share about how I think about the hobby, how I think about technique, about color schemes, oops, sorry box, is all new stuff. Thirdly, and probably most importantly, is that the course is optimized for education. Here on YouTube, a lot of videos are optimized for engagement and entertainment and stuff like that. Like even down to the subject matter, the way the video is paced, like how much footage of a particular thing is being shown. It's all kind of colored by that process. And so these course websites are just the opposite of that. They're all about education. There's some entertaining stuff in them, of course, and we try very hard to make them beautiful and shot very well. But education is first and foremost. And so we show the entire painting process, you know, like hours of footage. Ben's class is 6 hours long, mine is 4 hours long, John's is 3 hours long with some change, and all the footage plays back at between 150 and 300% speed. So there's a lot of painting footage to watch in those courses and a lot of explanation of those courses. We also took feedback from the Duchess one. People wanted to hear like the painter's live thoughts as they were painting. And so in Ben's class and my class, we both give live thoughts, if there are thoughts to share, during the actual painting that is kind of unscripted. I truly believe in these courses as a educational opportunity. And if you have done my Duchess course, and if you're working through these Wood Of courses, I'd love to ask something of you. Could you go to my web store, miniac.co, and also review the products on that web store? Let people know what your thoughts on it, good and bad. I don't really care. I just want to know if what I think of my products also matches what other people think. And I want to hear all of it, not just the bad stuff, not just the good stuff. But yeah, share your opinion on there and give it a rating out of 5. I'd appreciate that a lot. If you bought the Duchess course and you're kind of curious, is the Ranger course worth it for me? The script for the Duchess course is 11,000 words long and it's spread out over 78 lessons. And the script for the Rangers course is 25,000 words long, so over double, and 102 lessons. So there's definitely more content in the Ranger course. I had more to say. I've learned a lot more since I made that course several years ago. I've learned about how to be a better educator, and my philosophy about miniature painting has definitely changed. And there's also things in the Ranger course that are just distinctly different. Like for instance, for the Duchess, I painted her in TMM, and the Ranger, I painted him in NMM. I did normal Caucasian skin tone for the Ranger, whereas the Duchess has vampiric flesh. I did lots of different fabrics and leathers for the Ranger. Duchess is largely silks and cloths, so a lot of different subjects were covered. So they're very different courses, but there definitely is some overlap in the education portion. I'm not gonna sit here and not say that. The Ranger 75mm was painted by none other than Ninjon, and the 32mm version by Kat and Martin. Both these models I love very deeply. John also did the masterclass course for the Ranger as well. John has an amazing way of blending his brand of humor with just the right amount of education to get you to understand a concept so you're not like being drowned in info. I like to drown you in info. I'm the kind of person that if I don't understand some small component of a thing, I'm kind of totally lost. And so I like to tell you everything about how to make a decision and everything that I'm thinking and believing. But John knows how to keep it fun and keep it light and keep it educational. He has a mastery of that, and his course is a reflection of that. Lastly, the Witch, the 75mm version painted by Benjamin Cantor, as is the class. And it was, let me tell you, it was such a joy to work with Ben on this class. Like, he clearly cared about the outcome. Not only did he obviously write his own script, but he also put in and found his own assets and wrote a script to tell us where to put those assets. He reviewed the course over 3 times and had feedback every single time, not only about the contents, about their ordering, their titling, about like the color grade of the video. So he cared a lot. And I think he's really proud of the outcome of the class, as am I. I spent a lot of time editing that one. That's the one that took the longest to edit, actually, and I'm really proud of that outcome. That one's more for advanced painters, I would say. Ben explores a lot of concepts that were new to me the first time that I experienced them when I was editing it, and I'm sure will be new to you. A lot of physics in there about angle of incidence, penumbra and umbra shadows, about core shadow, and stuff like that. A lot of new concepts. And so that one is really special and different. The way that Ben approaches the model is totally different to all of the other 3 courses on the website. He approaches the model holistically instead of sectionally, meaning that he doesn't paint like the face, then the cloak, then the quiver. No, he paints the whole model at once and develops a concept at the same time. Also, his education is not front heavy. It's like sprinkled throughout the video. So he'll explain a concept about like sketching, and then he'll do some sketching, and then he'll talk about color theory, and then he'll start coloring the model. And so it's paced really nicely, and yeah, it's just really deep. Lastly, the 32mm Witch was painted by Elizabeth Beckley Bradford, and I freaking love this paint job. She crushed it so much. I'm so proud of all the painters of the 32mm models, especially. I think those paint jobs came out beautifully. And all 3 of those paint jobs were just like a vision of a wood elf that like I'm totally for. Those color schemes are wonderful. Lastly, the brush boxes. A company did not approach me to stamp my logo on this. This was developed from, you know, the ground up. And it seems a little silly to say that because it's just a box, you know, it's just a fucking box with some foam trays in it. But like, it means a lot to me because like I've always wanted to get into product development. Like, where do you even start with that? Like, you have an idea for a tool and you want to like make it and then like manufacture it and sell it. Like, that process just seems so interesting, but also like mysterious. I have no idea where to go. And so when I was given an opportunity to develop these things, with actually a viewer of the channel that I met at Adepticon, shout out to Ryan, love you Ryan, I jumped at the chance. And so yeah, we went through a design process with this, changing the layout of the foam tray, resizing things, trying different materials for the box, trying different colors, trying to pick a finish that's like durable, picking colors for the foam, all kinds of stuff. A lot of back and forth with that. And I'm really proud of these boxes. Are they kind of like a, oh, I only have red foam. Are they only kind of like a boutique item? Yeah. They're not like necessary for the hobby. But they're nice. They're a nice place. And I've been using them a lot, actually. I've been doing a lot of painting at my friends' houses to paint my Necromunda warband. And I've been using it to carry brushes and X-Acto blades and files and emery boards and all kinds of stuff. And let me tell you, it can carry stuff. We got that right. Even proud of the packaging, honestly. The label done by Todd Thyberg is really pretty. I don't know if we're gonna keep making the label. We definitely have more, but you know, it's an expense, but it is really nice. That's it for the Kickstarter stuff. Lastly, the web store has a couple of items that are on closeout, which means that once they sell out, they're gone forever. So we can make some room in our shipping room for new merch items, new designs, new clothing types. I'm really excited to freshen up the web store's merch and get some new stuff in there. And so there's a lot of pieces of clothing, the sprue golem, the tie-dye hoodie, the shorts, the generic spaceman decapitation t-shirt. Those are all on a pretty good sale right now. And so if you wanted to pick those up for cheaper, you can. But everything is on the web store, Miniac.co. It's all done being produced, and you can pick it up now. Each of the masterclass courses are $15 off when you buy them with the corresponding model. A little bit of a combo deal there for you. And yeah, I'm just really happy, guys. I'm really happy to be done with this. I have no resentment toward the process at all, but it was a lot of work. And I'm happy to be done and just making YouTube videos now. I have a lot of YouTube videos that I'm very excited to do. And I'm excited to just make YouTube videos without having to worry about like, I'm gonna have time to do this thing this week and stuff like that. My focus is gonna narrow on YouTube extremely. And I'm excited about that. I hope you're excited about that. I'll make another video about Kickstarter and if it was financially worth it for me, using real numbers for money to tell you guys how much everything cost and tell you every single step of the process that I had to go through to get to where I was. I want to make videos about Necromunda, about the old world, about painting beautiful display models, I'm excited for all of it, guys. And I hope you are too. Subscribe or die! And most importantly, don't forget to... more minis!